Imagine a classic fairy tale setup. A noble prince travels to a distant kingdom to win the hand of a beautiful princess. Her father, the king, presents a high-stakes riddle. Solving it brings a kingdom. Failure brings immediate execution. This is the opening of Pericles, Prince of Tyre, written by William Shakespeare. From the first scene, this play ignores the standard rules of a romantic comedy. Pericles deciphers the riddle, but the solution exposes a horrifying truth. King Antiochus is in an incestuous relationship with his own daughter. Knowing the truth makes Pericles a target. To avoid the king's assassins, the prince must abandon his own kingdom and flee into the unknown. Doing the right thing destroys his life. The narrative abandons the idea that virtue guarantees a happy ending, focusing instead on the reality of surviving a chaotic universe. Pericles races across the Mediterranean. He pauses to deliver grain to the starving city of Tarsus, but the persistent threat of the king's assassins forces him back onto the water. A massive storm cuts his escape short. The resulting shipwreck destroys his vessel and leaves Pericles washed up on a foreign beach, stripped of his royal title and his wealth. He begins again with nothing in the city of Pentapolis. He enters a local tournament, wins it through skill, earns the respect of King Simonides, and marries the king's daughter, Thaisa. Shakespeare allows his protagonist to rebuild a stable life, only to establish the weight of what the sea will take next. While sailing home with his pregnant wife, another storm strikes. During the chaos of the gale, Thaisa goes into labor, gives birth to their daughter, Marina, and appears to die. The sailors believe a corpse on board brings bad luck. Pericles is forced to seal his wife's body inside a watertight coffin and cast it into the ocean. He leaves his newborn daughter in Tarsus with people he believes are allies. Then, broken by the loss of his wife and the isolation of his grief, he retreats to the sea as a silent, wandering shell of a man. Pericles is physically alive, but the events of the last year have dismantled his identity as a leader, a husband, and a father. Thaisa's coffin washes ashore in Ephesus. A local physician discovers her and manages to revive her. Believing her husband and child are gone, she withdraws to the temple of the goddess Diana to live out her days in service. Years pass, and Marina grows up in Tarsus until her caretakers betray her. She is kidnapped by pirates and sold to a brothel. Marina maintains her integrity in a place designed to destroy it. She uses her intelligence and moral arguments to confront the men who come to exploit her, eventually changing their behavior and forcing the brothel owners to release her. While Pericles surrendered to the weight of his despair, Marina weaponized her purity to navigate the same corrupt world. This resilience allowed her to survive the long years that followed. Years later, Pericles' ship arrives at the same port as Marina. The local governor, hoping to comfort the silent, grieving stranger on the deck, sends for the young woman known for her wisdom. Marina sits with the broken man and shares the story of her own survival, her birth at sea, her mother's death, and her own struggles. Pericles listens to the details of a life that mirrors his own losses. He realizes that the daughter he mourned is the person standing before him. A subsequent dream guides Pericles to the temple in Ephesus, where he finds Thaisa alive. The family's restoration requires more than the chance meeting in the harbor. It required them to survive long enough for that meeting to happen. This ending suggests that when life strips away everything else, the refusal to stop moving forward is the only way to reach the shore.